Welcome, Annie Collins here for Brutus Monroe. Today we're going to create this bread-themed encouragement card. Let's go over the products I use to create this card. First, we're going to use our mixed media stencil called Stripes. And this is a 6x6 stencil. And we're going to use Candy Coat in yellow. Now, I did this and I lost the clip, so here it is, the finished panel. All on there, and I did a nice thick coat of it, and you can see all the little extra little big chunks, which I love about Candy Coat. It gives you these extra chunks of, I'm not sure what they are, they look like Lamar or something like that. We're going to use that in coordination with the Baked Fresh stamp set. We're going to use all the little breads. We're going to use the sentiment that reads enjoy life, it's delicious, which is right here. Keep in mind this is a 22-piece set, so you get plenty of sentiments and lots of fresh baked goodies to play with. Today we're going to use all the breads in our stamp set. So here they all are colored. I have this one down here, this Italian loaf, our brioche, our baguette, this little, I'm calling it a croissant, don't know if it is, but that's what it reminds me of. I'm going to add a 80-pound brown cardstock. And from Not Your Mama's Cardstock, I have my card base. I have everything ready to go. All we have to do is stamp our sentiment. This one's going to go pretty quick. Like I said, I lost the footage of me putting the candy coat. But basically, I laid my stencil on top of my piece of Not Your Mama's Cardstock. And I just pushed it through with a spatula, peeled off the stencil, let the panel dry, and washed everything immediately. You know, stencil, spatula, etc. I use my stick and stamp mat to hold everything down while doing so. I also have, as you can see, a stick and stamp mat in my stamping platform. I like to have one in there to hold smaller pieces of paper like I have here. And it holds the paper. Now the magnets are holding down the stick and stamp mat because it's a plastic mat and it will slide. But it doesn't hold on my paper, as you can see. I just shook it. Alright, so I'm going to put the cover sheet back on there to keep that nice and sticky and move our platform out of the way. I'll clean my stamp after we're done. I'm going to trim this down. I'm going to trim this down into like a banner. So, a hanging down banner, excuse me. Excuse me. And I'm just going to trim down the sides and then I'll fishtail the end. I'm going to trim a little bit off the top as well. And we're going to lay this on the upper left hand corner of our card. So I'm going to trim this down up here, remove all the extras. We're going to take our little trimmer out of our way, and I'm just going to bring all the components in. With my scissors, I'm going to trim up into this little rectangle, and then from the corner to that little snip that I made, I'm going to cut in an angle. Repeat it in the other side, and now I have a fishtail banner. So now we can start building our card. So I'm going to start by adhering our I'm sorry, I'm not going to adhere it just yet. I'm going to put a little bit of foam adhesive on the back of our fishtail banner and I'm just going to set that to the side. And now I'm going to start adhering. I'm going to grab my Barely Art glue and start adhering our card panels together. So I like using liquid glue because, of course, it adheres pretty quickly and it gives me some wiggle room because it's wet and lets me make sure everything's adjusted and centered where I need it to be. And Barely Art is a really good glue. Now I'm using quite a bit here. You're thinking, well, if it's a good glue, why are you using so much? My panel's a little curved from the candy coat, so I put a little extra, and believe me, it works. It holds it down flat without, it reduces all that curving that you get. So I put it down, it holds it nice and flat for me, so I don't have all that curling and all that. This is why I say it's a good glue. And I put it on this one as well. I do that just because I know it's has the other one, it's still wet. This way everybody gets nice and flat and it dries perfectly. Alright, so now we're going to add all the other little goodies. I kept that little strip that I trimmed off my panel that has the candy coat. I'm going to put that on the inside. So I'm going to start by adhering the long French baguette to the base here, and then we're going to add all the other breads. Here's my Italian loaf, and I fuss with these a bit. I move them up and down until I get it how I like it best. And then on this one, on the brioche, I'm going to call it a brioche. It's a woven bread. That's what it reminds me of. I'm going to put, it has adhesive dots on the back, so I'm going to just overlap it here. And then, okay, I'm losing some of my Italian bread, so I'm going to move that over. And this little piece here, it's like a little roll. It could be a breakfast roll or whatever, but I'm calling it a round croissant. You know, use your imagination as to which breads these are. Especially you can color these in fun colors for different, you know, like right now for Halloween, you can color these in oranges and blacks and make a spooky kind of bread theme or baked themed card. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and pop our sentiment up, like I said, in the top left hand corner. And now I'm going to bring in some sequins, and then I'm going to pull in mostly like oranges and a golden, like a light orange and a darker orange, and we're going to put those throughout. I just have a bunch in a little tray here. There are different colors in there. I'm just going to pick through and get my lighter orange and darker, deeper oranges colors. I'm trying to pull from the colors of the bread. And I will list all the Copic markers I use to color the breads in the description box below for you, as well as all of the other product. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a cluster of 3 by our sentiment and 1 or 2 over here by our bread. There is a lot of shine and sparkle on here because of the candy coat, which is fantastic. And the candy coat comes in several colors. I believe we have now 5 altogether. Well, the rainbow we have. Okay, so, well, minus orange. We don't have orange yet. Alright, so, so almost the rainbow. So here we are with our completed card. It came together really quick, like I said, because I lost the footage of our candy coat. The candy coat, depending on how much candy coat you put on, can take the drying time from 5 minutes and up. So again, we used a baked fresh stamp set. We use our bread and our sentiment, the Stripes multimedia stencil, our candy coat in yellow, and our Raven detail ink to stamp our sentiment. I have all these Copic markers I use to color our bread, and like always, I'll have everything linked for you in the description box below, minus the Copics. You shop those where you find the best price for yourself, but I'll have all the other items, the Brutus Monroe items, linked for you in the description box below. Thank you for being here. Here's a close-up of our card of our candy coat. Thank you for being here, and I hope you found some inspiration.